Asmahlahla, a warm welcome to Let's Talk Money with Auspedi Silebi. You're a personal friend.
Yes.
You guys have been friends for decades.
Decades.
Tell us a bit about your relationship.
Yeah, we were 18. I was 18 and no, I was 19, and then Wendy was about 18 when we met. After the riots of 1976, there was no schooling in the township. So through some other connections, which I cannot recall, we ended up going to this college in town. It was run by a guy called John Samuels, and it was called Starrett College. We were doing not the education of South Africa, but we were doing what was called A-levels and O-levels. Okay. It was a British education. And we were sponsored to do that education. So we met with people who were activists in the Soweto uprisings. We met people from different backgrounds, but we're all young. And we just got together in that space. And we used to travel by train from Soweto to town in Preacher Street. And that's how we met. Okay. So, yeah. From there, we started this relationship, and amongst us, there were a few guys who were saved. So they just got us into line. They told us about Christ and everything, and they told us, you need to be saved. You don't have to go with boys, all those kinds of things. And we were like, who are you people? But, through that, we started having prayer sessions at the school, and we just navigated towards each other in terms of Wendy, and we saw that, okay, we are like-minded people, and that's how we started having that friendship. And after that, we also went to Swaziland together through a sponsorship of United Nations, and the rest is history. We met at Grace. We worked for the same company, me and Wendy, the PEM, which is now known as Nedbank. And it's been 47 years of friendship.
Hectic.
Yeah.
So very long
family. We are
very, very long time.
Yeah.
Now, in the 47 years that you guys have been in each other's lives, you've gone through a lot of many different stages, of course.
Yes.
And one of the major stages in her life is her financial career within the Nedbank institution. Now, did you ever see her as an author, celebrated author?
Not really. When it comes to finances, and she can confirm that, when we were working at the PEM, somehow I've worked in home loans, but also I had this financial thing where I wanted my finances to be right, and this thing that if you don't have money, don't spend.
Yeah.
If you want something, you save for it. And she was the opposite. And every time something happened, she'd be like, oh, I can't even go to this one. She's going to tell me, if you don't have the money, don't spend it. And that's how we were. We were total opposite. Wendy was very, what's the word? Like, when she wants something, she wants to get it, no matter what. On the other hand, I was that person who's like, I'm not going to buy something in credit or whatever. And she'd be like, ish. This one. No. But later on, she recognized that I was the one that was like bringing her into life. She's like, you weren't like this going to tell me, don't spend if you have, And later on, I'm like, oh, okay. Now she's listening to me. And then, boom, she worked in the area in Nedbank where she was dealing with issues, especially staff that were struggling with their finances. And I was like, oh, there is a potential here. And the rest is history.
Look at her now.
Yeah.
I'm glad she was there. Oh, fantastic, Mama. I'm glad in the book that she mentions all of that even though she had many, many years of experience and expertise in the financial industry, she still was making financially bad decisions within the institution. It's all in the book. Get the book. I keep playing.
Get the book.
Mama, your own personal, maybe nuggets, that you have gotten from this book, having read the book and also being a financial expert in your own right. What have been your takeaways from the book?
For me, it's chapter 4. where she talks about having a vision. And I've always been that person who likes to have a plan, like this is what I'm working towards. But how this impacted me is that some of the things that she talks about as in the vision board, that you must put these things, are things that I've always practiced, but I wasn't putting a name to it.
Okay.
Like certain things, like, have a plan in terms of, I think the plan that I used to have was that on strictly financial, but it wasn't a plan to say, even weight, you put a plan, this, you put a plan, friendships that you want to keep, you put them in the vision board. I was strictly looking at finances. And for me, they spoke to me to say, in your vision casting, you include everything about you, everything about your life, everything about your family, everything about your children. So for me, that's the biggest thing that I've taken here. And also I like that for young people that, Tina, when we were growing up, we didn't have all these things. Vision board. What was vision board? You like, okay, in the next 2 years, I want a car. How? You didn't have a plan, So this says you need to have a plan. You can't just sit here and say, I want a car. What car? Do you want a car that's worth 1 million rand?
Yeah.
Or what do you want? So that for me spoke to me. And also I was happy for young people that they have this opportunity to get these nuggets, which Tina, we didn't get. We're just going there and like, okay, whatever works. But I'm happy for the children to know that this is how they should be planning. You need to have a plan that is achievable, that is real, that you can work towards. Because sometimes, because populates, it's a pie in the sky. But when I ask you, do you have a plan? You're like, I have a plan. What do you want? I want to live in Sandton. But how are you going to get to that? So I think this chapter for me, I'm happy for young people that it details everything, as opposed to us who are working towards something like that, but we didn't put names or things that are more detail specific, achievable. We were like dreaming sometimes.
Fantastic. And the chapter that Mam Nonhlanhla is talking about, I starts at page 61 of the book. If you've got the book, it's called Seeing with the Heart. And Mama calls it her fifth seed, where vision is the propeller of financial freedom and success.
Yes.
Mama, thank you so very much. It was a pleasure having you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I wish her all the best in her future endeavors. May she continue to do well as well.